So if I make a game, right, so I need a central chip. Let's put the grid on. And to get the actual camera's, no, not that, position and stuff, you can get it from global settings. Let's turn that off again. In here is camera transform, and if I grab a splitter, you can see what that means. Transform means, so if I actually make the cube, explain at the same time. So transform means you get three different parts of it. Translation, which is a fancy word for position in the world, and then rotation, which is an unfancy name for a rotation like that, and scale, which is its scale. Now we're getting this transform from for the actual camera, which is whatever view it is. So even if you have, let's say, you have a couple of cameras. First, let's display this so we can see what it's outputting. So we'll get the position. And we'll display them out. And we'll move them around a bit. Okay, so if we play time, you can see they move even when I'm not in this camera or whatever. So it's actually the live position. So let's just move that somewhere and then move that somewhere else. Okay, and now if I just play the scene, it's getting whatever the current view is. That's what the camera transform sends. You can actually even like rotate like that, and it will give you the correct rotations for it. So we're going to use this with an emitter. An emitter can take, normally if I, let's set this up first actually. Let's get the grid again, and we want a chip to be like in the center of that, like that. And if we turn on X-ray mode, we can see it's in the center. And then we'll group those together. And then let's open this. So now logic in here will be wherever that cube is. And so we've got the emitter. We're going to emit that, and oh yeah, X-ray. So it's going to emit there, and this position is just like a scene transform, and it can have a rotation to it like that, and all that's the same as like this kind of transform over here. So we're going to tell it where to emit to. So we're telling it a scene transform, so we don't actually need to display it or anything, just plug it straight in. Now we want it to keep emitting this as fast as possible every frame. So this, I don't need speed. Time between emits, if you set it to 0, it'll emit every frame. And actually, if I go max emitted at once and then recycle, so we can, if actually I put that to infinite, I can look around and then come back out, and you can see it's emitted cubes at all those positions like that. But we don't want our logic to be everywhere the camera has been at any point in time. We just want it to have one of them. So I think if we go max emitted at once 1, and then recycle emitted objects, this means only one will be existing in the scene at any one time, and it will destroy a previous one to make room for making the new one. So now if we look around, and then so you can see that single cube is still existing in the scene. So job done. So now it might be cool if you could oh, you need that one again. If you could add like special things, like if I group that with there, it would be cool. Oh yeah, we'll turn this visibility off as well. Turn all those off, don't need them. If you had that in front of the camera, like that, as like UI or something, that would be a really neat way of doing it. But you can't do it, as you can see, it kind of jitters around because it's actually, the emitter is 1 frame behind this, or some tiny amount of time. So then you can't really use it for making like special UI, unfortunately. But that's how you do that. And in the previous stream I showed what you might use that for.